Hope you enjoyed it. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Happy Easter to those that celebrate. My name's Shumon. I'm the commissioner of the Global Art Forum. This is Y7, aka Hannah, Cobb and Declan Colquitt, the very special curators of this edition. Would you like to say hello?
Hello.
Declan?
Hello.
That was worth the wait. It gives us great pleasure to welcome you to day two of the 2025 Global Art Forum called The New Normal. Before we begin, could you please turn your phones to silent right now? Thank you. So we're going to keep our introduction a lot shorter than yesterday, but just a little bit of navigation and context. When we say the new normal, we mean that it's the feeling that we get from this incessant accumulation of chaos as progress, or is it progress as chaos? We'll hear a little bit more about what this is and why it matters from Declan in a minute. Just a brief recap from yesterday. We started with Venkatesh Rao, who told us about chaos, progress, magical thinking, crisis, and normalcy, and how all these things sort of swirl and swim together into Silicon Valley and all its kind of consequences upon us. Then we had Hallie Frost and Gary Zexi-Zhang, who told us about gamification, UXification, and financialization. Then we had Anna Nicolescu, who showed us how online and offline are in a kind of Uberos inside the new normal. We had Hans-Ulrich Obrist show us video games and world building as seen by artists. And then finally, we had Rem Koolhaas and Charlie Koolhaas reminding us of where Dubai was 20 years ago before it became the new normal 21st century that it is today. Just before I invite Declan to take over, I just want to mention that all of the visuals that you're seeing that we consider to be our this edition's campaign, the images that are on our much coveted cushions, the animations that you'll see again and again, and also importantly the playlist that you were listening to have all been generated by Hannah and Declan from Y7. And I wanted to just maybe spend a minute asking you about these things. And Hannah, maybe you could say something about the visual material that you've produced for the new normal.
Yeah, so we trained a video model on thermal images, and yeah, we basically produced a data set of around 100 images, trained the model, and then have used prompts that allude to the titles of the sessions and the content of some of the sessions. The general kind of the initial branding was based on a Peter Saville campaign, and we just felt like the heat map, really kind of felt right for the new normal. Everything's getting hotter. Things feel like a fever dream. Nothing seems to make sense. Everything just melts into everything else. And yeah, there's a real sense of proximity to it. And I really, really like the aesthetics of it. So that's the
images. And Declan, could you tell us about the playlist and about the songs?
Yeah, so using AI text to audio tools, I've created a playlist of 10 songs that me and Hannah came up with some prompts with. They're all reflective either of kind of the vibe of now or more specifically of stuff that's that we're speaking about throughout GAF. They're all very silly, and one of the things that I liked the most about this was when I first got into using AI as a creative tool in like 2019, It was very, very janky and lo-fi then, and I mean, Hannah got kind of sick of hearing about it because I was like, there is going to come a time, it might be 2 weeks, it might be like 3 months, but there's going to come a time where text-to-content audio models are so good that we have a glorious era of like shitpost music where people who have no music making skills whatsoever just get to generate the silliest songs, and the whole process or our idea of what a musician is or does just totally changes. And I think we're very much in that or approaching it, and I think I really love how just daft and silly and kind of quite convincing some of them are. Big on it. But there's some slow jams in there for the ladies. There's something for everyone, There's something for the goths. There's some like mumble rap, It's very, very eclectic. I'll put it on SoundCloud, I think. Yeah.
And with that, would you give a formal welcome to Hannah and Declan from Y7?
Yeah, thank you, Shumon. I just want to reiterate like Hannah's beautiful opening words yesterday, and just to kind of convey how thankful and grateful we are to be here. And thanks to Art Dubai and to Shumon, to Lucrezia and Barani for all the hard work that they're doing, and to all the lovely panelists for agreeing to be here. I just want to take this opportunity to share some of our thoughts on the rubric, the new normal. And I will follow this with an overview of today's sessions. So I just want to quickly kind of dot out a constellation of how the new normal pertains to contemporary cultural nodes and to meaning making contemporaneously. So the new normal, specifically the new part, captures a pervasive feeling that the future arrives before we've had a chance to metabolize the present. That by the time we name something, it's already mutated into something else. That the things we categorize, or information more broadly, moves faster than the mechanisms of categorization. Otherwise, surely, they would just be plain old new. In the new normal, the present repeatedly gets rug pulled by a future we can't preempt. The deployment of new playfully signals an exhausted surrender to churn and to accelerating trend cycles. This acceleration is something that the trend forecaster Mandy Lee spoke about in the context of fashion during her appearance on the It Girl Theory podcast in 2022, stating that the trend cycle will continue accelerating to the point where we will not be able to identify what is on trend. Everything is conflicting, everything is back at the same time. I don't know where to look for inspiration, so I'm just going to wear what I want. It's a lot of things overlapping at once, and I think there's more tastemakers than not tastemakers in a way. End quote. These observations posit the onset of an anti-incubatory terminus of cultural phase space resembling the game. For those uninitiated, the simple rule of the game is, and will always be, that if you think of the game, then you've lost the game, whether you like it or not. You have all now lost the game. And the naming of a trend usually signals an imminent depreciation of its potency, whether you like it or not. Trend forecasters tend to agree that the definitive overarching meta-contemporary trend is that we are heading towards the end of trends, that the trend cycle has accelerated so aggressively that previously discrete identifiable eras or moments are being motion blurred into a Catherine wheel of info slop, an everything now continuum of non-linear dynamics and post-progress flux in which, to quote Shumon, change itself keeps changing. Everything's so-so back, so-so cooked, and so-so over. Keeping up with this is a frenzied, blurred attack on a whack-a-mole of news stories, discourse, cultural micro-trends, micro-moments, aesthetics, styles, vibes, and moods. And oftentimes, the new can feel like the next in new clothes. This churn fatigue was also expressed through Core, a TikTok hashtag that went viral in late 2022. The videos associated with the tag were described by writer Kieran Press Reynolds as visually frenetic, rapid-fire montages of surreal memes with intense music and no discernible meaning beyond the pleasurable rush of recognizable audio-visual material. One of the central theses of corecore, implied by its own etymology, was that it was a trend that took trends and trending as its subject. Its maximalist collaging of media invoked a sense of stimuli shorn of meaning and established an exaggerated satirical critique of not only accelerated trend cycles, but also of the formal qualities algorithmically encouraged by TikTok. New is also a quite cute thing to say, and being cute is, as Maya B. Chronic and Amy Ireland tell us in Cute Accelerationism, an emergent aesthetic of late capitalism, an adorably packaged collapse, which is what we do, how we make the unbearable feel at least memeable. Trying to keep up with culture in the new normal can make one feel quite silly. These word games set us off on paths of semantic satiation, which is the phenomenon where you repeat words over and over and they lose their meaning. The new in this way relates to post, the pseudonym taken by Al-Hassan Al-Wan, and this way that the triple prefix signals a move or a failure to articulate the move beyond postmodernism. If postmodernism was characterized by irony and pastiche, and postmodernism by a return to sincerity, or at least the performance of it, then post is what happens when that distinction stops mattering. It's the cultural logic of the feed, where meaning is provisional, where context collapses faster than we can hit retweet. It's a meta-turn, and self-referential meta-turns are the turn du jour in the new age of UU. Okay, thank you. Now, today, we've got an incredible lineup. Joining us very, very shortly on our first panel is Yaya Clara Breck, who is a theorist, and curator and writer Milia Jinbi in the New Culture Shift, which will explore how shifting global power dynamics, seen predominantly in tech and post-2008 digital art, are disrupting US hegemony and redefining cultural, technological, and political influence worldwide. After that, we are joined by artist and private ear Lawrence Abu Hamdan in Noise is the New Power, talking about a new work that exposes a sonic warfare campaign through a sonic composition, video game engine, and spoken word amalgam. We'll then have a short break, and we will reconvene to a panel on quantum computing and quantum physics, which will ask, is quantum the new paradigm? We will be joined by artist and researcher Gunseli Alchinkaya and head of product development at Quantinuum, Konstantinos Meichanatsidis. And after that, we will be joined by the positively effervescent multimedia artist Zayn Majali to screen a new work that is all about faces, the new face of you, which will look at how AI tools and abundance of internet content reflect the new face, and it will trace augmentations, reductions, fillers, and filters. Finally, we will bring GAF 18 to a close with Is Posting Still the New Cope? With artist and researcher Aya Gordat, with writer and brand consultant Al-Hassan Al-Wan, aka Post, and with lecturer and researcher and certified meme queen Idil Gallup. And together they will provide an audit on being online today. Is the new normal slop or cope? Is the dead internet theory more than a conspiracy? To post or not to post? And did you remember to touch grass today? Shumon.
Thank you so much, Declan.